G'day viewers. Well, Australia had its federal election and the result is... See, the vote is so close. There is no definite result yet. And in fact, a definite result may not be known for weeks. Hopefully it won't take that long, but that could be the case. See, what's happened is, okay, so Labor, the opposition, aren't going to have enough seats to form a majority government. But the sitting government lost so many seats and there are so many independents and minor parties with seats, they may not be able to form a majority government. And they may have to try and get some of the minor parties to guarantee support for them, not to pass a no confidence motion to them. And nobody knows yet what will happen. If the Libs get a majority, it will be by the barest margin, like by one seat. And then they've got a Senate, which is not going to be overly friendly to them. So they are on very precarious ground and they are unlikely to be able to get their most contentious legislation through. All of that means one thing. The Malcolm Turnbull career death watch starts now. Because he lost a couple of key supporters in the election and the Conservatives foaming at the mouth. It's hilarious to watch them eat themselves. You had people like Erica Betts and Corey Bernardi arcing up on Twitter and in the media last night when the count was going on. And then Conservative commentators like Andrew Bolt having a complete spat, publishing on his blog that Turnbull should resign. And what I love about the extreme right of the Libs and National Party coalition are the Abbott supporters. They're completely disconnected from reality. And that provides a lot of entertainment because they seem to think, see, Turnbull said he'd be better for us, but he did embarrassingly badly. Well, I tell you what, anyone who's not a shameless partisan will tell you if Abbott had stayed at the helm of the government, they would have been slaughtered. It would have been biblical proportions, the bloodbath. Like, it would have been historic, the number of seats they would have lost. They seem completely unable to understand what a fucking walking disaster Tony Abbott is and how much the public couldn't deal with him as Prime Minister. And for me, that's good news, because if Turnbull's going to be white-handed non-stop, even if he ends up with a bare majority to form government, it's just going to be a sideshow the whole time. Abbott's already emboldened to say that they should have listened to him, and it's just this amazing sideshow of people who cannot see reality when it kicks them in the face, and they're just so good at denial. Like, no, they love us. Oh, the only reason that Labor did so well is their scare campaign on Medicare. That's not a scare campaign. That's something you were going to do. You guys were going to destroy Medicare. That was obvious from policies you'd pushed and budget measures you'd pushed, that you were going to destroy Medicare. To say you weren't is a straight up lie. Something you guys are good at. Like Abbott on the eve of his last election as leader. Oh no cuts to the ABC or SBS, no messing with pensions. Just a cavalcade of lies, one after the other. And people saw through it, okay? It's not like Labor was particularly inspirational. It's not like I'm a fan of Bill Shorten. It's just that the Libs are pushing ideology above reality. Like, killing Medicare would be bad economically, but they're tied to this ideology that means actual repercussions don't matter as much as them getting their way. And hey, while they're all pushing the ideology of self-interest, that's what I'm going to do. People going, oh no, it's bad for Australia if the government's unstable and if the leader gets changed again. Fuck that. I get some laughs and plenty of material for this channel out of it. So I'm all for it. I want the Conservatives in the Liberal Party to attack Malcolm Turnbull because it's funny. Oh, and on a side note, one of the awful spectres of Australian politics, Pauline Hanson, an uber racist, has come back. And it's just like someone whose entire ideology from day one has been racism, and yet for some reason her and her racist supporters think they can say, no, we're not racist. We just say all these things against people who aren't white. That's a coincidence. It doesn't mean we're racist. I mean, unless you look at a dictionary definition, then maybe, Mr. Egghead, if you want words to have meaning, maybe we're racist. I saw people like lefties, people who are my allies, wringing their hands online going, oh, it's awful. Did you see in her Senate seat, like Pauline Hanson got 20% first preferences? It's like, what country are you living in? Any chunk of this country, particularly Queensland, where she was voted in, just take any chunk of the population, and if you think 20% of them aren't racists, you're not paying very much attention, quite honestly. She's one person. There's other minor parties in the Senate and the lower house. Hey, at the very least, it's going to be interesting. If the world's gonna burn with the way politics is going everywhere, then I'm gonna turn into the fucking ringmaster of this sideshow and eat popcorn and cheer the bastards on. Because if we're going down in flames, we might as well make a show of it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I upload regularly, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, so you don't miss out. And if you like what I do and want to help me out, best thing you can do, share on social media. Tell your friends what they're missing out of. And hey, check my links below and you can follow me on social media as well. I've got a huge back catalogue, so stay around. There's plenty more to watch. Here's a couple of suggestions.